The setup. The god of Commenda faces humanity. If you've been breathing oxygen and following cycling for the past half a decade, you know the name Tadej Pogačar, a Slovenian sensation, the Tour de France conqueror, El Lombardia demigod, the guy who basically makes 7,000-meter alpine climbs look like a casual stroll to get to your morning espresso. He has more wins than your grandma has dusty vases, and somehow still has the cheek to smile like that's all just fun on two wheels. This man is an institution of pure athletic intimidation. October 2025, the air in Commenda, Slovenia was tinged with excitement, anticipation, and maybe a tiny hint of hubris. Pogačar, basking in the glow of yet another successful season, he'd won everything except perhaps a Tour de France stage in the rain while juggling a croissant and cafe latte, but give him time. He decided to host something modest, something casual, something small-scale and charitable, a little event that he deemed the Poggy Challenge. The idea was elegant in its cruelty. A mass start climb up the formidable 13.9-kilometer Krvek ascent. Amateur cyclists, local enthusiasts, and a few overconfident weekend warriors would get a head start. Pogačar would even start later, chasing them down like the cyclonic force of nature he is. The goal, to overtake as many as possible, to flaunt his superiority, and to remind humanity why they can never, ever match him. Enter Andrew Feather, a 40-year-old British lawyer, part-time hill climb champion, full-time master of surprising the hell out of the cycling universe. Feather's biography could be mistaken for a dry LinkedIn resume. Law degrees, courtroom victories, mild sarcasm at office parties. But hidden beneath or within that exact, perfectly tailored suit and carefully cultivated legal demeanour was a secret weapon. Legs that apparently remembered what it was like to hurt, and hurt hard, uphill. Feather had been a 4-time UK national hill climb champion as far as I can see on my research, but for the uninitiated, that's basically the amateur cycling equivalent of winning a local spelling bee, except your opponent is literally the human embodiment of a rocket-powered bicycle. Feather was confident, meticulously prepared, and, as it turns out, about to pull off what social media could later dub, quote, the greatest troll in cycling history. So picture it. The day arrives. Krvek climb winds through forests, switchbacks, and that faintly menacing fog that makes you question why you didn't just jog on a treadmill like a normal person. Pogačar is warming up, radiating smugness. He's taking selfies, signing autographs, and maybe thinking to himself, these amateurs, I'll eat them for breakfast, wash them down with a protein shake, and be home in time for tea. The crowd cheers, there's a festive atmosphere, charity stalls selling t-shirts with I got chased by Poggy and survived emblematized on them. The first riders roll off the start line, grinning nervously. They are completely unaware that they are now part of a human experiment in embarrassment and awe. And then, somewhere in the middle of the pack, calmly sipping water like he's about to attend a parliamentary debate, Andrew Feather pedals away. Nobody pays him much mind yet. Lawyers are known for patience, after all, not for blowing minds on a climb. The challenge begins. Hubris meets human. Pogačar begins his ascent 6 minutes after the head start riders. He's in that I've done this before mode, a sort of casual tyranny in lycra. His legs are spinning at near magical revolutions. Watt meters are screaming. Spectators are whispering things like, are his legs made of titanium? Meanwhile, Feather is pacing himself with the cold, precise efficiency that only a British lawyer could muster. The man is averaging 400 watts, a steady 6.2 watts per kilo, No flailing, no panic, just calm, methodical grinding up the hill. You can almost hear the ghostly echoes of courtroom cross-examinations turning into cadence. "Objection, Your Honour. I will maintain my pace." By the halfway mark, Pogačar is overtaking the first clusters of amateur riders. They look astonished. Some cheer him on, some weep quietly. A few immediately vow to take up knitting. He's moving like a force of nature, and yet Feather remains in the distance, smiling quietly, completely unbothered. Commentary is exploding on social media. Twitter, Reddit, Instagram, TikTok, the meme armies awaken. Quote, "Did Tadej just get out sprinted by a lawyer? Lawyer legs 1, Poggy 0. I paid $3 for this drama, and it's worth it." Pogačar is closing the gap on everyone at this point, except Feather. Every switchback, Feather's form is impeccable. He's eating gels like a man who has prepared 100 PowerPoint slides on how not to crack under pressure. By kilometre 10, whispers circulate among the audience. Wait, is Feather going to win this? Pogačar pushes harder. Watt meters hit numbers that should technically summon lightning strikes. But Feather's average power is still holding, and it's insane. The crowd is now divided between admiration for Pogačar's intensity and stunned disbelief at Feather's audacity. It's like watching a lion chase a tortoise, only the tortoise is now casually drafting behind the lion and occasionally sipping tea. Finally, the summit approaches. Feather crosses the line in 44 minutes and 15 seconds, exhausted but dignified. The onlookers gasp. Then, not even 2 minutes later, Pogačar arrives, shocked, sweaty, confused, humiliated. He had given chase with every fibre of his pro-cycling being, and somehow he had been outclimbed by a man who probably spent the previous evening balancing his books and contemplating tort reform. Post-race, Pogačar admits, quote, "I tried to catch everyone, but I couldn't. Hats off to the winner." His voice is calm, but you can almost feel the lava of embarrassment simmering beneath. Feather in turn smiles and says, quote, "I had a McDonald's the night before and slightly underinflated tyres. Clearly that was the secret." Social media erupts. Hashtag trends. It's hilarious. The aftermath. The cycling world reacts. The aftermath. If you thought a professional cycling athlete being bested by an amateur world would go quiet, you've clearly never seen Twitter react to anything. Within hours, the internet was ablaze. Cycling pundits, who normally dissect FTP numbers and cadence ratios with clinical precision, suddenly resorted to headlines like "Pogačar defeated by man who drafted on British tea," and "Andrew Feather, lawyer, cyclist, humiliator extraordinaire." Podcasts devoted entire episodes to theories. Had Pogačar underestimated Feather? Was this a strategic let the local hero win moment? Or was it simply a cosmic joke played by the cycling gods? Reddit threads flourished with speculation. Quote, "I bet Tadej didn't even warm up." Quote, "This is what happens when you underestimate lawyers." Quote, "Imagine being the greatest cyclist on earth and getting served by a man who invoices by the hour." Pogačar's camp tried damage control. Trainers reassessed journalists. Quote, "It's just a charity event. The effort was still massive. Focus on the numbers, not the embarrassment." But the numbers were not comforting. Feather's methodical pacing and impeccable timing were being discussed in hushed, reverent tones. People were analysing every pedal stroke, every gear change, every tiny miscalculation by Pogačar, as though it were a Shakespearean tragedy. This was hilarious, and I simply had to cover it. Do I think Pogačar was really trying? I do, but I think he was absolutely exhausted from the whole season, and that's probably why. Also, the head start he gave was way too big, and Heather was obviously a decent trained cyclist as well. Thanks for watching today's video. If you're new here, please subscribe and leave a like on the video for good luck, and comment down below what you think happened.